All right, welcome to the stage, BJ Fox, Ishii Terumi.
Hey! You're in the middle, Ishii. How do you feel, Terumi?
いや最高ですね。あれそうでもないですか。すごくない？ねえ。
I'm very emotional. Okay, now Terumi, I know it's very exciting, but we have to actually record an episode. Okay.
いやビール飲みたいですけどね。
After
ね。ちょっともうちょっとのが皆さんはねビールとかいろいろドリンクを飲みながら楽しんでいただけたらと思います。
Okay, so now Terumi, up to now we have recorded a number of urawazas about giving criticism, feedback, and advice. Yeah?
はい、今までたくさんのねクリティシズム、ちょっと批判的な意見とかフィードバックとかアドバイスを人に言う時の裏技というのをエピソードでたくさんご紹介してまいりました。
But we haven't actually looked at how to receive criticism.
receive の方ね、今度は批判的なことを言われた時にどう受け取るかっていうのは確かにやったことがなかったかもしれないですけれども、well, just be humble,
Be humble, okay?
and take it constructively,
Maybe, yeah.
because it's good to get feedback on your ideas, isn't it?
Question, Terumi.
はい。
Is it really always good to get feedback on your ideas? Is it?
なんかね、フィードバック文化みたいなのが強い会社、私もいたので、3ヶ月に一度とかじゃないんですよ。毎月でもないですよ。1日の終わりに毎回じゃあ今からフィードバックしますみたいな。
Yeah.
勘弁してくれよって思っていましたけれども、皆さんの会社ではどうですか？結構でもあるんですかね、フィードバックしますよみたいな。
I am a
Hi.
what do you call it? A one man
ワンマン
shacho. I hate feedback.
to give or to receive?
Receive.
To receive 嫌い。
I hate receiving.
Yeah, sometimes like for me it's tough to have harsh feedbacks.
Oh, see, I don't mind harsh feedback. I don't mind harsh constructive feedback. I hate stupid feedback.
あるよね。なんだそれみたいな。
Like what that has got nothing to do with the topic. What are you talking about? And every now and again you do get feedback and you're like, that is just so stupid. What should you do in that situation, Terumi?
Stupid ってのは会社お笑いやってるとやっぱりね、好き勝手言われますから。
Yeah.
Just ignore it.
Can you ignore your boss's feedback? If your boss says something to you from the Singapore, United States, and in your mind you're like, that's got no relevancy to the Japanese market. Can you just ignore it?
なるほどね。なんかボスだとか他の国の人から言われて、日本の市場と全く関係ないことを言われて、ただ無視をする。
Can you or ignore your boss?
それはボスがねイグノアするのはなかなか難しいので受け流さなきゃいけないですよね。
Can you say thank you but no thank you? No, you can't. So what you should do is not ignore it. I recommend bearing it in mind.
Bearing it in mind. もしかしてそれが今日の裏技ですか？
It certainly is. So Terumi, the phrase is actually I'll bear that in mind.
I'll bear that in mind. ね、bear.
Bear.
bear はね、クマさんの bear っていう意味ももちろんありますけれども、我慢するなんていう風にね、よく学校では習いますけれども、ここでは何でしょう、持つとかね、抱くとか。
Yeah, I guess I'll bear that in mind is a way to say I'll consider it.
I'll consider it.
Yeah.
I'll consider it ってのはね、we had that before, like on a Zoom chat when the conversation is going off topic.
What was that? Oh yeah, we did.
ちょっと待って。
Bearing in mind the time.
そうそうそう。
Bearing in mind, considering the time.
Considering the mind. そうそう。
Yeah.
Bearing the mind in time.
No,
違う。
bearing the time.
これ私言えないんですよ。Bearing in mind the time. Bearing the mind in time. 違う。間違えた。Bearing the time.
Bearing the time in mind.
Bearing the time in mind. もしくは bearing in mind the time.
Oh my god, I'm getting confused now. This is
そうなのよ。
this is a
これ
tongue
私混乱し
twister.
ちゃうのよ。Bearing in mind the time.
Bearing in mind the time. Bearing in mind the
これ
time.
bearing the time in mind は
Do you know what? It does work, but let's not confuse the audience.
あ、ごめんなさい。じゃあ覚えるとしたら bearing
In mind.
in mind the time なのね。
Yeah, and
Hi.
considering the time. Producer Ruben, what episode was that? 104. Actually, I'm looking it up. It was 95. It was 95.
プロデューサールーベンもドラえもんじゃないですから、ドラえもんじゃないって言うとあれですけどね。エピソード95ということでしたけれども、はい。
Yeah, but okay, so episode 95 was an urawaza, bearing in mind the time, let's take it offline. And that was when the conversation was going off topic. And also maybe when it's approaching a topic that you don't want to talk about or you're not prepared. But that's not what we're going to talk about today.
はい。エピソード95でやったのを皆さん覚えていらっしゃいますでしょうか。オンラインミーティングとかでみんなで会議をしていてちょっとトピックがずれてきたりだとかちょっと細かい、トピック何人かね複数大人数のミーティングでちょっと細かいトピックになってきた時とかはもうオフラインでやりませんかって。
Like
あの時でしょ
when I ask you about your YouTube channel, how's that going?
Bearing in mind the time. Let's keep that offline.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
そう。
Let's not talk about it now.
そういうことですね。はい。
But today's phrase is, I'll bear that in mind. And it's the same usage of that phrase, to consider.
はい、bearing in mind the time っていうのをね以前やりましたけれども同じようにそれを心に留めておくという意味で考えておきます。consider という意味でここでは登場してきます。
Yeah.
これはもしかして前向きに検討します。I'll consider it.
The English translation of 前向きに検討いたします。
そう前向きに検討いたします。I'll consider it とか I'll
Yes.
bear that in mind.
It is.
Oh.
After 142 episodes, we have finally arrived at the English translation of Japan's most famous urawaza.
やりましたね皆さんね前向きに検討するって言って答えはノーの時にね皆さん使うと思いますけれども英語バージョンは I'll bear that in mind なんか他にもありませんでした Didn't we have a phrase like I'll pencil it in
Yeah, we did do that before. I'll pencil it in. That was episode 37.
おおそんな前か
That was a long time ago.
long time ago ですね今となっては
And I'll pencil it in is a great urawaza to say, maybe I'll think about it, maybe I'll consider it, but actually means no. But that's for when people ask you to do something.
I'll pencil it in っていうのは、考えますけれども、ノーの時
Yeah,
でこれはあれですよねスケジュールの時とか
exactly.
の時に使えるもの
So I would say the translation for 前向きに検討します for maybe I'll pencil it in is more like 行けたら行く。
そっかそっちは行けたら行きますの英語訳が I'll pencil it in
I'll bear that in mind is for when you get advice or ideas that you want to say thank you but no thank you.
なるほど I'll bear that in mind ね今日の裏技フレーズは何かアドバイスとかアイディアを人から、フィードバックとしてもらった時にありがとうでも全然ステューピッドだなみたいなことを考えている時に答えるのにうってつけということですね。
And I do think this is a very important urawaza because in a company we want a collaborative environment. We have spoken about how important it is to give your ideas, give feedback, be brave and be confident when you do so, giving your opinions. The downside of this is if you do that, then other people will then do it to you as well. And that is a good thing. But you will come across people who will give you advice, give you opinions, give you ideas about topics they have zero knowledge about.
長いな。
Okay, I'll do that again.
大丈夫ですよ。会社ではね、みんなで仲良くじゃないか。会社では協力的な雰囲気でね、働かないといけません。そしてフィードバックとか意見とか、ちょっと耳が痛いようなことも人には時には言わないといけません。そういったことを、今まで私たちもねするべきだと言っておりました。それ逆に言うと自分もそういう意見とかフィードバックを受け取ることになりまして、で悪い点というと、いいフィードバック クばっかりじゃなくって、もう全くこの分野に詳しくない人が思いつきでなんか適当なこと言ってきたりだとか、何を言ってるんだこいつというようなね、ちょっと言葉が悪いですけれども、そういった時にどうかわすかっていうことですよね。そういったことをね、皆さん心当たりあると思いますからね。
Because you can't say no thank you. Because if you say no thank you, that collaborative environment then disappears and the idea of everyone sharing will disappear as well. So what do you say?
ダメなんですか？To be brutally honest, I don't think that is a good idea とか言っちゃう。ここで裏技使う。To be brutally honest, I appreciate your feedback, but
I would say no. I would say no.
ダメなのね。
I would say no for two reasons. Firstly, like I just said, you want to be a good teammate. You want to be seen as a collaborative person, a collaborator. Saying no could make you appear defensive and not open to feedback, which isn't the case. You are open to feedback. You are open to constructive feedback. You just don't want low-level, pointless, irrelevant, stupid feedback.
はい。
Too long.
フィードバックに対してね、ノーとかちょっと否定的な答えはやっぱりやめておきましょうというので、理由が2つあります。1つはね、やっぱり協力的なチームメンバーっていうのは表向きはね、そのように振る舞わないといけないということで、ちょっとねフィードバックに対してみたいな感じで攻撃的だったり、なんかちょっと嫌だなみたいな顔に出てしまったら、それはフィードバック欲しがらない人のように見えてしまいます。それを望んでるわけじゃないですもんね。フィードバックが嫌なんじゃなくって、ローレベルというか、なんか役に立たないなこのフィードバックっていうのが欲しくないというだけなので、ノーとかね、ちょっと否定的な態度で返すのはやめておきましょう。
And the second reason is, even if you say no, if you engage with that feedback, there is a potential it will then turn into a discussion about that feedback.
2つ目の理由としてはね、ノーとかね、なんかあなたの意見がいいと思いませんとか、的外れですとか言ったら、じゃあなんでそう思うのかっていうディスカッションが始まっちゃう。
And then other people might jump in, maybe someone will take it in a different direction, and even in the end, it ends up with you ignoring the feedback. You've wasted time on that feedback, and it just is a waste of time.
はい、そうですね。そこで一旦議論が始まっちゃったりとか、人がね加わったりして、やんや始まってしまうと、フィードバック、このフィードバックいらないなってだけじゃなくって、なんか無駄な時間がかかってしまうと。BJ が嫌いなやつね。You hate wasting time, right?
I hate wasting time.
そう、すごい早いんですよ、やることとかね、なんか。
I've got no time.
そう。
I've got no time.
ずっとね、行き急いでるみたいな。Why are you in a rush?
Well, because I've started Tokyo's first comedy bar on the same week as my mum arrived on Golden Week.
そうね、だからお母様も今いらしてるしね。
Yeah.
初めてのコメディバーもオープンしてるし、裏技英語ライブも開催してるし、いやすごいタフガイなんですよ BJ は本当にね。
Yeah.
はい、話はそれましたけども。
That's a good moment to stop. Anyway, shall we hear this Urawaza in action?
いやすごい、ありがとうございます。よかった。
Okay. So, are we ready for the meeting? We're agreed. We want to move the office to Shibuya.
Yes, it will be so convenient.
An office right in the heart of Tokyo.
But it's expensive. So let's be careful. You know how sensitive the CMO is to price. What is the narrative?
Gives a good impression to clients.
And great transport connections.
And have you prepared a second option so we can give Rachel, the CMO, something to pass comment on?
This office is in Uguisudani.
Is that a share office?
It's like a WeWork. They have both long-term and short-term plans.
Great. It's disgusting. It's perfect. She'll look at that and decide on Shibuya. Mm-hmm. Let's do this.
Hello.
Hello, Team Japan here.
Hello, BJ, Team Japan. Is Wasako joining us?
I'm here.
Great. So we have to make the final decision of where we will move the office to.
Yes, the contract at our current office is finished, and we need to decide. We have narrowed it down to two choices. This bright space in the trendy area of Shibuya, and this one in Uguisudani. We really want your input.
When do we need to make a decision by?
Actually, tomorrow. There's not much wiggle room.
What do you think, Wazako?
They are both interesting areas, but playing devil's advocate, from a client's point of view, Shibuya is easier to get to.
But correct me if I'm wrong, Ugui-Sudani is also on the Yamanote line, right? That's pretty convenient.
True, but to be brutally honest, the area around Ugui-Sudani isn't the correct image for our company.
Okay, Shibuya it is.
Great.
Well, I'll start the application.
But let's see the Shibuya design again. I don't love the color of the sign.
Which color would you like?
Not sure.
Blue? Just throwing it out there.
Blue could be good, Ruben. Maybe.
We could make some mock-ups of many different colors.
That would be great, Wazako. Would you do that? And we can make the final decision tomorrow.
We need to let the landlord know by noon.
I'm sure they have some buffer built into their schedule. Please manage their expectations. Speak tomorrow.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Come on.
Hello.
Hello, Team Japan here.
Hello, BJ, Team Japan. Is Wazako joining us?
I'm here.
Great. So we have to make the final decision of where we will move the office to.
Yes, the contract at our current office is finished, and we need to decide. We have narrowed it down to two choices. This bright space in the trendy area of Shibuya, and this one in Ugui-Sudani. We really want your input.
When do we need to make a decision by?
Actually, tomorrow. There's not much wiggle room.
What do you think, Wazako?
They are both interesting areas, but playing devil's advocate, from a client's point of view, Shibuya is easier to get to.
But correct me if I'm wrong, Ugui-Sudani is also on the Yamanote line, right? That's pretty convenient.
True, but to be brutally honest, the area around Ugui-Sudani isn't the correct image for our company.
Okay, Shibuya it is.
Great.
Well, I'll start the application.
But let's see the Shibuya design again. I don't love the color of the sign.
Which color?
Yeah, I see what you mean. We'll bear that in mind. Let's just go ahead and start the application.
We can adjust the color once the decision process starts.
Excellent idea, Wazako.
Great. Was that all?
I think so. Thanks so much for your valuable insight, as always. Team Japan, can we just stay online for one moment?
Okay, bye.
Bye.
We smashed it. Shibuya office approved.
Yeah.
All right, well played. Well played.
うまいですね BJ.
Of course. Yeah, no, I think you can see there what BJ did. He didn't ignore the feedback. He accepted it and moved the conversation on and said they would deal with it later. And I think this is a very important phrase for Gaishike because getting approval from your head office in a short amount of time is a very, very common occurrence.
ね、皆さんうなずいていらっしゃいますけども、なんかやっぱあるあるですかね。なんか承認をゲットしなきゃいけないけれども時間がかかるから、なんかその短い間でね決着をつけなきゃいけないのに話が変な方向行っちゃってっていうのは避けたい。
Yeah.
でね、変な CMO がなんか関係ないことを言い出した時になんかそっちの話の方向に行かずにちゃんと受け止めるけどもちょっと無視をするというね。
Absorb and move it on.
そうで一旦受け止める、受け止めるけれどもなんか受け流すっていうのが上手なんですか、上手なんつうんだろうな、ふさわしい言い方なのかもしれないですけれども、一旦受け止めて相手に不快な思いをさせずに、話を前に進める、そんな時にぴったりの裏技ですね。
Shall we look at the steps?
はい、ではステップを見ていきましょう。
Okay, so Tedemi,
はい、
the scenario that we want to talk about is someone is giving you bad, pointless, stupid comments, or in a nicer way, just comments not related to the matter under discussion.
はい、ではシナリオとしては誰かがあなたにバットでちょっと的外れで おバカなコメントをしてきたとか、ディスカッションされている内容に関係ないコメントをしてきました。
Step 1.
はい、ステップ1。
When you hear the annoying comment, stay positive.
はい、ちょっとイラッとするコメントを聞いた時でもポジティブで言いましょう。
Don't sound annoyed, and even if you're on a meeting on Zoom, don't allow it to show on your face.
はい、だからイラッとしている様子を見せないようにしましょう。Zoom のミーティングでさえも、それを顔に出さないようにね。皆さん大人ですから大丈夫じゃないですか。
Step 2.
ステップ2。
Actively think about the suggestion. Say, yeah.
はい、最初からガン無視するのではなくって、そのサジェスチョンについて考えてみるというね、そういうふりをしましょう。そしてyeah とちゃんと噛み砕いているよという様子を見せましょう。
Step 3. Add one positive acceptance phrase.
はい、ステップ3でまずここでポジティブな、受け入れる、受け取るフレーズを言いましょう。
Such as, I see what you mean, or interesting idea.
はい、ここでですね、I see what you mean。はい、おっしゃることは分かりますですとか、interesting idea、面白いですね。そういったポジティブなフレーズを一旦ここで挟みましょう。
And these positive actions ensure that the other person, the person who's given you the stupid comment, won't realize you're using an urawaza. And that person will feel that their input is not being ignored.
はい、こういったポジティブなフレーズを挟むことでですね、ちょっと的外れなフィードバックを与えた側の人は、この人が今から裏技を使うっていうことにも気づかないですし、もう意見をこれから無視されるんだっていうことも気づかないですよね。一旦やっぱね、自分の言ったことを受け止めるっていう、受け止められたんだって思いますからね。
Yeah, and you'll appear like a good team player, and this is especially important with your boss.
はい、特に、ボス、自分の上司が相手だったりするときは最初からなんか食ってかかるような態度なんじゃなくって一旦受け止めるっていう、それをねこのようなポジティブなフレーズで表しましょう。
Step 4. Use the urawaza phrase, I'll bear that in mind.
はい、ここでステップ4でようやく裏技フレーズの登場です。 I'll bear that in mind。 はい、ちゃんと心に留めておきます、前向きに検討しますといったところですね。
And step 5, quickly redirect the conversation onto the correct track.
はい、そしてステップ5で、そもそもね話したかったことに会話をちゃんと戻しましょう。
So overall it's, yeah, interesting idea. I'll bear that in mind. Anyway, shall we talk about the office in Shibuya?
はい、ということで一連でやるとね、今 BJ がやってくれたようになりますけれども、I'll bear that in mind。 なんか私よく貴重なご意見ありがとうございますとか、
No.
日本人だったら言うと思うんですけれども、そんな感じかな。
I think it's the same.
ね、貴重なご意見ありがとうございます。とりあえず言っといて、受け流すときにはね、
Yeah.
みたいな。あとそうですね。なんだろう、英語の場合、Thank you for your feedback とか。
I
それは違う。
think thank you for your feedback sounds defensive.
あ、そう。
Sounds defensive. Thank you for your feedback. Yeah.
Too humble, you mean?
No, it's defensive as it sounds like you don't want the feedback.
ああ、感じ悪い。
Yeah.
あ、そうなんだ。へえ。
Thank you for your feedback.
言っちゃうとこだった。
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your feedback.
It sounds like you stopped the conversation there. Thank you for your feedback. I'm not going to bear it in mind. With I'll bear that in mind, it means that, okay, yeah, I'll think about it. Yeah. And you're moving it forward.
そうなんですね。へえ。
Yeah.
はい、I'll bear that in mind.
I'll bear that.
便利なフレーズだ。
Okay, tell me, it sounds like you're ready to practice.
はい、そうですね。はい、プラクティスパートに参りましょう。
Okay. Does anyone in the audience want to do the practice?
スクリプトはあるの？ないの？
No.
ない。
No.
怖い。それはなかなかですね。
Okay, let's do it one time with Telemi. Telemi, okay.
はい。
Practice segment.
He's been waiting 3 years to use this machine.
3年温めてきましたからね。この瞬間を待ってました。
Okay. So tell me the first scenario is okay.
Why are you standing?
I don't know why I'm standing. Okay. Okay. So we're in Japan. Yeah,
Hi.
we're in Japan. You are starting a social media campaign and you want to spend your budget on Instagram, okay?
インスタグラムに、はい、予算をつぎ込みたいというところですね。はい。
Okay. I am the CMO. I'm based in the United States, and I'm going to give you some irrelevant feedback. Okay. Okay, so you go.
So we only have enough budget for one media channel, and we want to focus on Instagram.
Sorry, what? Just Instagram, no other media.
Because Instagram is popular enough in Japan, so I think Instagram will be the best choice.
Terumi, look, we've had lots of success on Snapchat. Do you know Snapchat is so popular right through South America, Europe, North America? We should be doing it we're doing it in other markets. I think you should explore that in Japan too.
Snapchat. Yeah, interesting idea. I'll bear that in mind. Anyway, I'll bear that in mind.
I feel like you need to move the conversation. You can't anyway, and just move it on to something else.
何か別のことをしなきゃいけないのね、ここでね。
Anyway, shall we look at the budgets or something?
なるほど。はい。Anyway, shall we look at the budget?
Perfect, Terumi. Very
Okay.
good, Terumi there. And in fairness, it isn't written down here. That was awesome, Terumi. Thank you very much. Okay, who just saw Terumi and now fancies doing it themselves?
ぜひね、やってみたい。もっとうまいこと返せるぞという。こんな返しはどうかなみたいな。あります？
Okay.
ちょっと急にここに来る
It's probably too hard, yeah. But it's good that we've got friends like Noddy who will volunteer. Okay.
おお、のりさん。
Wow, that worked.
ノリさん素晴らしい。
And I would also say that Noddy is not Sakura in any way. Okay, so the scenario here, everyone, is Noddy, you are thinking about quitting a really well-paid job at a consultancy firm, okay, to become a comedian. Okay, so... Sorry.
せいでしょうかね。はい、はい、はい、はい。
Okay, so starting from Nori, go.
Okay. So I'm thinking about following my dream and becoming a comedian.
You're quitting your job, one that so many graduates dream about, to become a comedian.
Yes, sure. That is one of my dreams.
Don't you think maybe you work for a bit longer, give 110%? Being a comedian pays very little.
Yeah, I think so. But
I think that's okay, Tommy Suki.
okay. In this case, I'll bear that in mind. Yeah. Yes, interesting. Thank you for. I often say yeah. Thank you for your feedback, your input. But anyway, this time, Yeah. Interesting point. I'll bear that in mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, what is your dream?
素晴らしい。お前こそ夢あんのかよっていう。
Great job, Nori! Does anyone want one more go? Does anyone, having seen Nori brave, be so courageous and do it, does anyone want to give it a go? Okay.
今度のシチュエーションは。
This situation, Ruben wrote this one. He said, the situation is you are thinking about starting an English language comedy club in a country where no one speaks English in the middle of a global worldwide pandemic where we're not allowed to get together. Does anyone want to deal with his situation? Ayumi, would you like to give it a go? Thank you very much. Put your hands together for Ayumi. Okay, grab Terumi's mic. I'll play the role of the friend. Okay.
Okay. So I am thinking of starting a comedy club in Tokyo where no one speaks English in the pandemic.
That is absolutely crazy. That is the stupidest idea I've ever heard. Where on earth are the audience going to come from?
You think so?
Yeah, I do. Honestly, Ayumi, don't you think you should maybe start smaller? Okay, how about you just rent a small venue once and see if you can get 35 people to come to one event?
Interesting. I'll bear that in mind. By the way, I heard you're starting the comedy club too?
Yes, and I kyogo hoshikanai. Great job there, Ayumi! Thank you so much, Nori and Ayumi, for stepping up here. Sorry, Suzuki Mikiko will agree with this. BJ Fox, how do you say? Hitotsukai arai.
人使いが荒い
Yeah,
って言われました BJ
I have been told that before.
From ミキさん
No, Mickey said-
ミキさん never says that
Mickey
I
said
believe
that.
あまあねちょっと人使い荒いっていう自覚があるの
Sometimes when I write to Mickey, because she did it once as a favor, and then I was like, oh, sorry, Mickey, can you do it again? 2 years later, every month I write, oh, Mickey, could you record this by Sunday? Thank you very much, Mickey. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming.
はい皆さんご協力ありがとうございました
And did everyone get a sense of how this urawaza does work? How you be positive, absorb it, accept it, and then move it on. And everyone feels very positive and like they're part of a team.
そうですねね皆さん働いている中でもねなんかとんちんかんなアドバイスをもらった時にでも、まあ、冷静にねこうイラッとするのを顔に出さずにinteresting, I'll bear that in mind で話を変えるっていうねほら BJ 私たちみたいにコメディアンとかやってるとさ結構いろんなフィードバックもらうじゃない
Yeah, we get so when you do comedy, you get so much advice from other comedians, from directors, from producers, from audience members on how to be funny.
そうボケはどうとか、
Yeah.
あとそれもだしやっぱ私芸人それこそねさっきなんか聞いたことあるようなエピソード出てきましたけれども、もう芸人になるって言った時とかやっぱみんなねいろんなことを言ってくるから、もうやめた方がいいんじゃないとかもめちゃくちゃ言われましたしその時これを知ってればね、買わせたんだなって今なら思いますけどね。
But I do agree. Like, I think one of the issues with brainstorms, one of the issues with discussions is fundamentally everyone has a right to say something.
みんななんだって言っていいわけですから。
But I personally, as a manager, don't like that.
ほう。
Because obviously in teams you've got different people with specialisms, different people with expertise.
なるほどねいろんな意見が活発に交わされることはいいとはされているけれどもマネージャーとしてはもういろいろな専門家が集まっている時に自分の専門分野じゃないことになんか思いつきで口出しされるのはたまったもんじゃなかった。
Yeah, well, and in my previous company now, sometimes we'd be talking about support issues. And I worked in a game company, we'd have a game designer giving an opinion on support issues. Great, but let the support person do their job. We don't need everyone jumping in. And part of that is the manager's issue of controlling a discussion. But when you're not the manager, sometimes you just get people who you just don't want their opinion. You don't need their opinion.
ゲーム会社で働いてた時もね全然専門が違う人がサポートスタッフの人にいろいろな意見を言ったりだとか、まあ言いたくなるけどね、ダメなのね。まあ難しいね。意見が活発なのはいいことだけれどもね、なんか全くトンチンカンなこと言ってくる人もいるしっていうね。
So tell me, what do you do in a comedy show, after a comedy show, when a customer, when a member of the audience comes up and says, you should have said this instead, or it would be funny if you did this.
That's a great idea.
Is that what you say?
ネタのアドバイスは、まあ、さっきそのコメディアンだからいろいろ言われるって言いましたけども、ネタのアドバイスはめちゃくちゃありがたいです。
Oh, really?
そうですね。やっぱあんまねその時にねでもそうなすごい的外れなことあんま言われないかもしれないな。
Oh, really?
言われることもあるか。違った？
Well, no, I find in the stand-up community everyone gives advice.
みんな言いたがる。
Yeah. And also, I've got this like chart
うん。
that the more advice someone gives, well,
Less funny?
yeah, the less funny they actually are. The funny people don't give advice. The people who want to give advice don't ever say anything, but the people who are just starting out are like, you should say this, you should say this, you should say this. BJ, you should make this joke. Oh,
面白くない人ほど口うるさく言ってくる。
I'll bear that in mind.
I'll bear that in mind.
Now, Tenemi, this is a great phrase for appearing positive while simply ignoring what is being told to you.
はい、何かねアドバイスを受けたときに無視をするかといってダイレクトに分かりやすく無視するわけにはいかないから、そんな時にはぴったりのフレーズです。
And unlike, let's say, kento itashimasu or even thank you for your feedback, which don't sound very positive in to my ears, if you insert the positive sounds like we've mentioned, that's a great idea. This phrase does not sound like an urawaza.
おお、検討いたしますと前向きに検討いたしますっていうのはね、もう多分検討しないんだろうなっていうのがバレてきてるフレーズですし、Thank you for your advice もそんなポジティブな感じがもうしない。そんな中、I'll bear that in mind っていうのは裏技な感じがしない？
Yeah, especially if you put positive sounds beforehand.
あ、なるほど。That sounds great とか、
Yeah.
That sounds interesting とか、ちゃんとクッションを置いてからこの I'll bear that in mind と言えば裏技がバレずに使えると。
Yes.
それでいてポジティブに聞こえます。
And thus ends our first ever Urawaza Eigo Live. Any feedback, Teremi?
そうですね。私からのフィードバック。
Yeah.
あれですね。I didn't like you using my career as an example in the practice. Maybe next time we can have generic topics only.
Okay, yeah, interesting point. I'll definitely bear that in mind. Thank you very much, all the listeners who came here today. Thank you for listening.
皆さんどうもありがとうございました。公開収録、初生対面公開収録でした。
And we will see you after the break, but we'll see all the listeners again next week for another episode of Urawaza Eigo.
はい、ということで裏技英語、これをねポッドキャストとかでお聞きの皆さんとはまた来週お会いしましょう。そして会場にいらっしゃる皆様とはこの後も引き続き、はい、いろいろなことでわちゃわちゃできたらと思います。引き続きよろしくお願いします。今日はどうもありがとうございました。
Thank you very much.
Urawaza Eigo. Business English is so hard. Urawaza Eigo. I need an Urawaza.